I was listening to somebody today go, I gotta have faith. I was into this faith movement deal and that didn't work. And I was into this prosperity thing. And if you don't have faith, you need faith. You gotta have faith. Heard that all my life. Didn't know what it was. Didn't know where to get it. Didn't know where to turn to it. But I knew that was it. Faith. Believe all you want. Trust all you want. But faith. How do you get it? Where is it? If faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen, well, where do you get this faith thing? Kind of important. I was in a non-denominational church for 20 years. And then I went to a denominational church for 20 years, non-denominational church for 20 plus years. And they always talked about this thing called faith. Drove me up a wall, man. I mean, my father used to say things, never explain them. Drove me nuts. I didn't have any explanation, no reason, no peace. Troubled. And when I went to the full gospel church, this non-denominational spirit-filled, they always talked about this faith. It looked like that guy had it behind the pulpit, but how do I get it? How do you get it? Where is it? And if you look in the Bible, I was discouraged. They would show me things in the Bible. These men would show me their doctrines and their commands and precepts of men, and I'd watch them with great admiration. My gosh, these people, wow, they had faith. Look at them. They had things, they had houses, they had cars, they had money. They must have great faith. Believe and then have faith. Man, I heard that for so long. And then I got discouraged. And then I almost fell away. And many of you feel the same way. But while you're seeking the mind of another man, you're not seeking God. And it's the simplest aspect of this thing called the Christian faith, over and above any other faith on this planet. You can't get it by obeying the commands, doctrines, precept, interpretation, reiteration of men. And that's the stumbling block. Instead of following and seeking God and getting our instructions from his mouth, like the prophets in the Bible, because I guarantee you, the dude you're following, all he has is interpretation. He reads the Bible traditionally, like they've done for hundreds, thousands of years, in all aspects of religion, including this thing called Christianity. But reading from the Bible is not how the people in the Bible or the person who you're following got faith. They got faith by hearing God's voice. Wow. Blow your mind. As simple as that. And when you hear God's voice, it's not like these dudes go, well, the Spirit moved me. Spirit ain't moved them. It's the lust of their heart. It is the lust for power and greed. That's all it is. It's money and power. That's what moves 99 and 9/10 of these religious dudes today that say they're teaching the Bible. Well, what about doing what God wants you to do? Have they been instructed by God? Have they been sent by God? That's the difference, isn't it? Those that are sent with his message and those that went presumptuously, because it's not the fact that they had faith and then that their message to me is one that I have to follow of their relationship with God. I need what they have, revelation from on high, God the Father. And we hear his voice and he instructs us, talk to us like he did in the Bible, or the man who you're following, presumably. Then when you hear his voice, you got it. This thing called faith. Why don't we have it? Because we listen to the commands of men. And then according to their agenda, we got to believe what they say. And then who they don't have a relationship with God. Impossibility that if they don't know what God is saying, then how do they know what God is revealing to them or has intended for them? It blows my, just because they have this great following or this wisdom doesn't mean they know God. God spoke to people. They heard him with their spirit. And he spoke to these people. Don't you want what they had or has? I wasn't told this. God set me free. Traditionally, we read a book inspired by the dude that wrote the book, inspired by the dude who handed us the book, interprets the book. Traditionally, God has nothing to do with tradition. That wasn't tradition that sent his son to die on the cross for us. Come ye all that labor and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Because the dude that's prophesying to you, promising you, he gets the reward. When we obey God, we get the reward. When we obey his voice, not this kind of rolling mist, which they interpret as his voice. No, when God speaks to you, you know it. There's no doubt. That's why he sent his son. That's what inspired the person you're following. So what's the problem? Why aren't you following? Not the person who gained revelation from God, but him that has received the revelation. Why don't you go to him who gives the revelation? Gives the revelation.